question of the day is, do you love God? And how do you know? A lot of people will say with their mouth they love God, but let's take a look at some scriptures to see if that lines up. Immediately, they lost out their convictions of serving unconditionally to me, the Lord, with all their heart, soul, and understanding. But as for you, Moses, you marveled at my precious deed and remembered my work in the land of Egypt and kept full hope in your countenance to that I, the Lord, would save them, seeking in you the highest feelings that may exist in earthly man, who bring forth the power of my priesthood among the children of men in the flesh, and when you have compassion on my people, which was about to perish in the land of Pharaoh, you found yourself then in full condition of summoning my presence, not in words, because my name cannot be pronounced by the human mouth, but in your heart, invoking the feeling that preconfigures my whole being, which you could only understand in the realm of human understanding as being the most sublime and elevating feeling there is. Yes, that of unconditional love. So what did we learn here? We learned that the highest feeling that an earthly person, a human being can have is unconditional love. We also find out that the hope that you have in God coming not only to your rescue, but being there at all times is paramount in being able to obtain this love. We find out that when you have this love, you bring about the priesthood, which means when you show that feeling of love to other people, they emulate that, bringing about what this whole walk is about, loving your neighbor as yourself. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So the question was, do you love God? And how do you know that you love God? How does God know that you love him? The answer is right here in front of you. It's specifically by keeping his commandments. And he made this very clear early on in creation. And I appointed him a name from the four component parts, from east, from west, from south, from north. And I appointed for him 4 special stars. And I called his name Adam, and showed him the 2 ways, the light and the darkness. And I told him, this is good and that bad, that I should learn whether he has love towards me or hatred, that it be clear which in his race love me. What race is that? The human race. And Christ said unto him, and he said this unto a lawyer who tempted him and asked him what was the highest commandment in the law. And Christ said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like unto it, that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And on these 2 commandments hang all the law and all the prophets. If you see somebody out here trying to tell you the word, try to teach you the word, and they don't have the love of Christ in them, run away. They are a false prophet. So what did we learn here today? We learned what to love God really means. It doesn't mean that I say it with my mouth and then I treat my neighbor like trash. It doesn't mean that I say it with my mouth and walk away from the poor person begging for some money. It doesn't mean that I say it with my mouth, but I'm talking trash about other members, not only of the church, but people in the world. You know, we have this misconception of what love really is, but the devil's done a great job in doing that. And what is his purpose in making sure we have a skewed view of love? If you want to understand more what I'm saying, think about this. The devil is the author of confusion and contention, fighting. If you turn on your TV, I'm sure. I don't watch TV anymore, but I do watch my Netflix or things on YouTube. And all I see is Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. All I see is Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. All I see is Monique versus D.L. Hughley. All I see is versus. The reason you're seeing all of these things is because the devil wants you to pick a side. Not only just pick a side, but in turn, have hatred or malice in your heart for the other side, when guess what? None of these issues ain't got nothing to do with you. You're being nosy. And yeah, they're putting it out there for you to be nosy, but you got to understand what the trick bag is. You got to understand how the devil's coming at you, because he's coming. It is the end of time, and he knows this more than most of you know this, or at least better than most of you know this. But that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm putting myself out here, because I want people to know what time we really are in. I'm called to do this. I don't do this because I choose to do this. I was called to do this. Do you really love God? Take inventory, y'all. Time is really running out. It's not a game. I know that things have happened to make you feel like, oh, well, if he was going to come, he would have come already. That's another game of the devil, another trick. Listen to what I'm telling you. Repentance and baptism, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking me out. I really appreciate it. I pray the Most High blesses you and yours. Much love and much respect. Shalom.